Hello, viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Today we have with us Mr. Sanjib Sahoo, the Executive Vice President and Chief Digital Officer at Ingram Micro. Although Mr. Sahoo doesn't need any introduction, we would like to convey that he is one of the most influential business minds in the world. Since joining Ingram Micro in 2021, Mr. Sahoo has spearheaded the company's global digitization efforts by introducing the groundbreaking platform Xvantage, aimed at transforming Ingram Micro into a platform company. Mr. Sahoo is an alumnus of Harvard Business School and is a prolific inventor with several patents in data and streaming technologies. He has received numerous awards for his leadership and technological innovations, including the prestigious Bharat Samman Award, the Hind Ratan Award, and most recently the highly coveted Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award. Welcome, sir. It's an absolute pleasure to be speaking with you today.
Thank you, Supriya. It's my pleasure to be here today with you.
Likewise, sir. Thank you so much for taking time out for us. So, Mr. Sahoo, your journey as a tech leader is undoubtedly an inspiration for young technology professionals. You've been recognized as one of the most influential business minds by some of the best institutions in the world. And accolades like Bharat Samman Award, Hind Ratan Award, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award, and I'm very sure I'm missing several names as far as this list is concerned. So, how do you use this influence to inspire and drive change within the industry?
Absolutely, Supriya. I think it's an honor to inspire others, right? Leadership is not, it doesn't happen by coincidence. It happens by, it's a choice. And throughout our journey, I want to inspire people if I can through my journey, because today everybody sees the success, but there has been so many ups and downs and failures that you go through the journey. And the idea that I want to tell people is that, I started from very humble beginnings when I was a small place in India and went through my journey ups and downs. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. And some of the lessons that we can inspire others is never be complacent, keep challenging your limits, but don't limit your challenges. Keep pushing yourself to be better and always focus on the art of possible. I think sometimes we are constrained by our own thoughts, right? We think, no, we cannot do this. It is too difficult. And in my journey, I always felt when I was doing A, I felt I could do A plus B. When I was doing A plus B, I thought I could do A plus B plus C. So constantly pushing yourself, that helps. And second of all, I would say it's always focusing on why, to understand, your bias for action. So why am I doing this? Why? And always focusing on why not to get results. Push yourself for more aggressive results and ask yourself, why not? Why not can we do this? So these are some of the calibrations I would say that, that I've learned in my life and career. What you see today, it looks very shiny, but it not always has been very rosy, but I'm sure for everybody. And I would like to tell the youth that focus on your journey, be steady and be determined and keep going through the grind.
That was great. Thank you. And, I hope to apply some of those learnings, in my journey as well. Thank you for sharing that. So your leadership has been highlighted as, the driving force in the digital landscape. What are some of the core principles that guide your approach to innovation and digital transformation in particular?
The digital transformation is a highly talked word, but it's a very misunderstood term. We have been transforming 5 years ago, we have been transforming 10 years ago, we are transforming 20 years ago. The name was different. What does it actually mean? It actually means that if you look at organizations, they have generally two kinds of gaps. You have an opportunity gap where not really figure out the market changes and take the next bet strategically so that you don't get disrupted. More than 50% of the Fortune 500 companies have been disrupted or gone away in the last 20 years. Then you have the performance gap where you're looking at how to operate the company better. How do you drive results? How do you drive P&L? Now, every time for the opportunity gap and the performance gap, you need to take, leverage of market changing conditions. May it be technology, innovation, data, AI, everything is changing. And if you do not take that opportunity, improve your organization, you would be gone. And that principle of having the DNA of the organization to always focus on the art of possible, to always take calculated risk instead of risk is bad, but calculated risk is innovation. That's not changed in many, many years. You can call it anything. You can call it digital transformation, AI transformation, business transformation does not change. And we think about digital transformation, but transformation does not have a stop sign. It's not a project. We say, oh, we started transformation 5 years project. After 5 years, you will do another transformation because something else has changed the market. So it's ongoing. What is more important is a company knows how to operate digitally with the digital DNA, focusing on the art of possible, balancing risk with the art of possible with art of feasible, focusing on that 60% chance of success versus that 40% chance of failure, focusing on how do you take emerging technology and use it to drive business value, create a DNA of the organization where everybody is their own CEO, create a DNA of the organization where we can look at new technologies, look at new digital capabilities to start with the customer, reverse engineer. These principles hasn't changed. If you look at it, more than 80% of digital transformations fail. Why? Two things. One, they fail to drive the business value. You can ask anybody, what is the transformation? We moved so many servers to cloud. Okay. Where does it end up in the P&L or balance sheet of your company? Nobody can answer you. Oh, we improved our release by 2 things. So this connecting the business value with technology is very important because transformation is not just about technology. The second is mindset. It is very difficult to change the mindset of an organization who what has got us here will take us there. But that's not how it works, because for this bias for what we know, it prohibits us transformation. And the last thing I will say, in big organization, perfection is the biggest enemy towards progress. We try to be more perfect, and to be more perfect, we don't move fast enough. And because we don't fast enough, we lose out in the market and we go to a circle. In my mind, 80% perfection and 100% execution is better than 100% perfection and only 80% execution. Why? Because what is perfect today, imperfect today can be perfect tomorrow. So I believe in being imperfectly perfect, but a little more perfect every single day. And that is the essence of transformation. You don't need to be perfect, but be a little more perfect, every single day. Have a continuous loop where you can focus on the value and learn how to operate with digital mindset. That is transformation.
That's a very profound thought, and it's given me a lot of food for thought, to be honest, because we were all always told that you need to strive for perfection. So being imperfectly perfect, it's a fabulous thought. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Sahu. So the Xvantage platform, right? It is your brainchild, and honestly, it has been hailed as groundbreaking across different organizations. So can you share the journey behind its development and its impact on transforming Ingram Micro into a platform company?
Absolutely. I joined Ingram Micro about 3 years back, and I had no background in distribution. Nothing. I didn't know anything much. I knew Ingram Micro, tech company, for a long time. And when I joined, the thing that really I was asking this, as a company, we actually don't produce anything. We sit between all these big technology brands, the OEMs, and the resellers, and through the resellers to the end users, and we touch almost 90% of the world's population. And the idea is that the challenges in the industry, which was there about treating a single pane of glass, looking at a unified experience, solving problems like pricing every single SKU, solving problems of complexities that you have for billing, all the back office. There were so many problems, and the industry was changing to be a more subscription-based. Cloud was dominating because distribution started with hardware. So my idea in my mind is that how can we not become a platform using all the 40 years of data that we have, using it to deliver an amazing experience? So we started that journey as an idea, and then really, started working on it from 2022 and really iterated with, building the data mesh with AI. We started AI when AI hype was not there. We had all the, headless engines and created a frictionless experience, brought in some of the best talents from the industry, from Silicon Valley, created an amazing team, and created the team with from outside as well as inside, where some of them who knew the industry. And that's what I meant to you. I focused a concept called DigiOps. You hear about tech ops, you hear about SecOps, but nobody thought about take digital, building the technology to create value, to ops to capture value, and mix them both. So this DigiOps concept were what we started from the start, and having that, we started the Xvantage journey. Today the platform has come a long way. We are creating value and differentiation in with the customers, with our vendor partners. We have built a lot of engines, and truly the discussion that we have between our customers and our vendor partner suppliers without Xvantage. I'm truly proud to see what, with the effort of all of us, this platform, which is a self-learning AI driven platform, is truly changing the technology industry. And and is more important than the platform, the passion of the employees, the hard work of the employees who has worked day and night to make a traditional organization create a platform and stand by it. That pride is what makes me feel proud. I'm just the face of the company, but the hundreds and thousands of people who are working to give it a new life, give it a way to enter the market, that's what makes me super proud of this Xvantage journey.
That's again a great insight into Xvantage, and thank you so much for sharing that with us, Mr. Sahoo. So you mentioned previously that digital transformation is an ongoing process, right? It's not a one-off thing. So I know it's a little difficult to predict, but what is your vision for the future of digital transformation, and how do you see Ingram Micro contributing to this future?
See, digital transformation, as I told you, will never stop, and transformation doesn't have a stop sign. And one of the things that we also undermine is that digital transformation is a lot about people than technology, because technology keeps on changing. And when you are transforming, you have to take up the people element and the humans in the organization. Today it is AI. AI was, in 1950s was first came right. Before it was there was cloud. Then there was there's lots of technology keeps changing, but people, do not change. The idea is we have to understand transformation does not happen to your employees. Transformation happens with your employees. So how do we actually take the humans and the people along with the journey is a key to, success. We can build the best AI platform in the world. We can build the best digital platform in the world. But if it's not utilized by your own employees and your customers, it's not going to work. Imagine your customers are people who are using, your employees are people using it, your suppliers are people using it. If people don't use it, it's not going to work. And today, employee experience is your customer experience. So one of the missing pieces of digital transformation in the future is we got to bring in people in the mix. And when we talk about automation, we forget the people element. Imagine transformation is about experience, not automation. Digital transformation is experience first and automation follows. The second is we need to really create a more robust architecture, like transformation spirit engine. It's about business case that how you value it is pointless. The third thing is architecture. Why technology is very important, that, taking from your ERP, rationalizing it, creating data lakes, creating data stores, creating an API or synchronous architecture to take the data out and create a friction experience. That is very important. Your architecture doesn't change every day. Your architecture of the house is a foundation that lets you pivot to different models. So I think the organization should focus a lot more on digital architecture, how they can be much more and pivot fast. And also governance, how you are not taking all the bets, but have a framework where you can measure value in very, very minute way, figure out your investment is working. I do not, we say 50% of a release time. By value, I mean, are you generating operating income? Are you EBITDA? Are you creating revenue through your efforts? And that is what, because a lot of the technologies do not have the business acumen. And a lot of the business leaders don't have the technology acumen. What's missing, even for the youth, is how do you create a mixture between business and technology? I think that is where the future of digital transformation is. Now, with the data and the AI, all these buzzwords, technology is all relevant. And believe me, I am not undermining, I am a technologist at heart. But what is important is your mindset to always drive your skill set. If you have the right mindset, you can learn anything, anytime. If you do not have the right mindset, no Gen AI algorithm will be enough. If you have the right mindset, you can learn any Gen AI algorithm. So the idea for transformation is how you navigate it with skill set. And the companies who will survive and successfully do transformation are the companies who take care of, create a DNA in the organization to focus on the art of possible, balancing with the art of feasible. And that's the balance we need to be successful.
It's really heartening that you mentioned, Mr. Sahu, that, it's the people who will be the core aspect of digital transformation, right? Because, with the introduction of AI and automation, there is a lot of fear about losing jobs and things like that. Thank you for, allaying that fear. And lastly, Mr. Sahu, I'd like to understand, what are some of the most exciting trends in digital innovation that you believe will have a transformative impact on businesses worldwide in the coming years? And how can organizations sort of, leverage these emerging technologies? Like you mentioned, there needs to be some kind of a business value. So how can these organizations identify and leverage these technologies to drive business value?
Absolutely. The mistake that organizations make is, let's say AI, we try to create an AI story and then try to fit our business in it. Whereas the right thing should be, you start with your business, because every business is different, and you see the capability of AI to leverage that, right? There's a difference. There's a difference to force with a technology to make your versus understand your business and see the capabilities of technology to it. What is very important is AI is meaningless without data. I must recommend that we got to focus on how do we leverage better data to take meaningful data, because the more unstructured data is or not great, the AI may not be great if your data is not great. Where data goes, AI flows. So the first thing is, how do you focus on data? And how do you get data is, you have to rationalize your systems. You have to focus on how do you tangle data out of your ERPs or other systems? How do you create a unified data lake? How do you have read-write data meshes? So the data architecture will be very, very important for any organization going forward. The second is, how do you create AI in such a way that it's mainstream? Just AI is for taking a warehouse and insight. How do you bring in your operational data store and your transactional data store and your AI data store all talk to each other? And that requires compute, storage, that requires, your GPUs, that requires how do you, make, that processing power, but you cannot do it for everything. How do you really identify and create a asynchronous architecture to do that? That is extremely important, that you look at that. Experience, how do you create a customer experience that this AI to personalize? Today, nobody has time for finding noise, How do you use AI to a very, very customized experience is important. I also think ecosystems will become much more important. It's not just about platforms anymore. You need users are same and they don't have time to look at all different technology. How do you create ecosystem? Very important. And the lines between businesses will blur, because ultimately there will be independent value, but value chains will merge together to create a unified customer experience to that. So the differentiation of organizations will not be about how they have a better infrastructure or ERPs or how they do billing, etc. It's about one or two things that they truly do good at versus really collaborating with others to have the non-mission critical. So see that evolving more. It's actually good, because today with the advent of data, cloud, entry to a business becomes much more easier. Same time, your opportunity cost to differentiate is much more harder. So you have to think about what's unique and really think about the customer first. So I see these trends coming more, but what I would say is boils down to most important thing. We talk a lot about digital transformation. More than 80% fail. If you look at about $2.5 trillion spent in digital transformation. 8% means about $1.9 trillion of failed investments. That's almost like top 5, GDP in the world. We need to stop this. That's a lot of money going waste. And if focus on use cases, mindset, focusing on bringing the right cadence, structure, building, learn, operate. That is the first thing I would like to see, that how more and more transformation succeed, because transformation will be ongoing and become a DNA of us. We show that so that we can't talk about it. So last thing I will say, Supriya, is the best digital transformation is when you don't talk about information. So it's a lifestyle. Like your health is a lifestyle. Digital transformation is an organization lifestyle. You don't stop transforming. You learn to live with it, operate with it. That's what I would see more coming in the future.
It was a really heartening conversation. Thank you so much, Mr. Sahoo. And, the takeaway truly for me is the fact that you mentioned that it's the people, right? Be it the customers or the employees, it's the people who'll make any digital transformation or, a project succeed. Thank you so much for sharing your views. And it was an absolute pleasure talking to you. I'm sure even our audience will appreciate everything that you had to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Supriya. Same here. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much.